want you to imagine two people. Person A has a seven-figure net worth, a beautiful home, a resume that would make anyone jealous. And they go to bed every single night with a low-grade hum of disconnection in their chest. Not depression exactly, not loneliness exactly, just a kind of static. Like the signal is almost there, but not quite. Person B doesn't have as much. Their apartment is smaller, their title is less impressive, but when they walk through their front door, something in their body just exhales. The people inside that space know them, actually know them, and their nervous system knows it too. Who's wealthier? I've been thinking about this question all week because here's what 12 weeks of deep diving into nervous system science has taught me. And I think it's going to reframe everything you thought you knew about success. Co-regulation isn't a soft skill. It's a physiological currency. And most high achievers I know are running a massive deficit. Welcome back to The Regulated Life. I'm Erica Carter-Folk, transformational coach and nervous system educator. And you're listening to the show that exists at the intersection of hard science, real life, and the kind of healing that actually sticks. This week is our visionary finale. And if you've been with me since the beginning of this series, first of all, I see you. I honor the work you've done because we have moved through some real territory together. Shadows, triggers, archetypes, the armor we wear, the ways we seek connection, and how we abandon it at the exact moment it gets real. And today, we're pivoting. We're done excavating. We are building. Today's episode is about legacy. Not your LinkedIn legacy, your nervous system legacy. What you leave behind in the bodies of the people who love you. So let's go. Here's the thing nobody tells you when you're climbing. You can optimize every metric of your external life. Income, title, influence, even your physical health. And still be running a dysregulated nervous system that is quietly bankrupting every relationship you have. Because the nervous system doesn't care about your accolades. It cares about safety, connection, predictability, repair. And if those things are absent in your closest relationships, in your home, in the way you show up after a hard day, your body is paying a price you can't see on a spreadsheet. Dr. John Cacioppo spent decades studying loneliness and social disconnection. His research didn't just show that lonely people feel bad. It showed that chronic disconnection accelerates cellular aging. It suppresses immune function and increases inflammation at the same level as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. 15 cigarettes a day. Nobody walks into their doctor's office and says, "I'm a little emotionally armored at home. Should I be worried?" But the data says, maybe. Maybe we should be. And here's the flip side. The thing that gives me genuine hope. Co-regulation, the physiological experience of being safe with another nervous system, doesn't just feel good. It's one of the most powerful regulators of stress hormones, immune function, and cognitive performance we have documented in the literature. Dr. Stephen Porges' polyvagal theory tells us that the human nervous system evolved specifically in relationship. We are not designed to regulate alone. We are literally built to co-regulate with partners, friends, family, community, and even within ourselves through the practices we use to befriend our own biology. So when I say the ROI of a regulated life, I mean it literally, not metaphorically. The return on this investment shows up in your health, your decision making, your emotional bandwidth, your leadership, and over time, the way people who come after you relate to the world. That's legacy. Let's talk science for a minute. Your nervous system has a metabolic cost. Every time you're in a state of threat, whether it's a real external threat or a relational pattern that's been triggering your system for 20 years, your body is burning resources to manage that state. Think of it like a tax. Conflict at home in the morning? Tax. Unresolved tension that you carry into your workday? Tax. The chronic low grade hypervigilance of never quite knowing where you stand with someone important to you? Big tax. Dr. Bessel Vanderkolk's research makes clear that the body keeps the score. Unresolved relational stress doesn't stay in the emotional realm, it gets stored somatically in your posture, your breath, your gut, the tightness in your jaw that you didn't even know was there until someone pointed it out. And here's where it gets really interesting for my high achievers: cognitive performance. Your ability to think clearly, hold nuance, make sound judgment calls is directly tied to your nervous system state. When your system is in chronic sympathetic activation, your prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for strategic thinking, empathy, and complex decision making, literally goes offline. You can't think your way through a dysregulated nervous system. You can only regulate your way through it. Now let's talk about what happens when you do regulate. When your nervous system is in ventral vagal state, what Dr. Porges calls the state of safe and social engagement, your digestion improves. Your immune system functions better. Your capacity for creativity and connection expands. You can hold more. You can offer more. You become, to put it plainly, a better version of every role you inhabit. That's not wellness speak. That's neurobiological reality. I want to talk about something I call the sanctuary. Not a building, not a concept you have to earn or build perfectly, but a quality of relational experience. The felt sense that the spaces and the relationships in your life are a place your nervous system can exhale. In a sanctuary, conflict happens because conflict always happens between real humans, but repairs faster than the fracture. You don't have to be perfect, you have to be willing to come back. In a sanctuary, emotions have a seat at the table. All of them. The inconvenient ones, the ugly ones, the ones you were taught to manage privately and never burden anyone with. In a sanctuary, there's a predictable safety. Not the absence of difficulty, but the presence of consistent enough love that your nervous system stops bracing for impact every time you walk into a room. I want to really be clear about something here because I know this audience. A sanctuary is not a partnership you need to be in. It's not a home you need to own or a family structure that looks a certain way. A sanctuary is a quality of relational safety that can exist in a friendship, a chosen family, a therapy relationship, a community, or, and this is the one we don't talk about enough, within your own relationship with yourself. The most important co regulation you will ever do is with your own nervous system. When you can witness your own activation without being consumed by it, when you can offer yourself the same presence and compassion you offer your closest people, you have built the foundation of every sanctuary that follows. Now, for those of you in close partnerships, living situationships, or co parenting relationships, I want to name something the research is very clear about. Intergenerational nervous system transmission is real. Dr. Daniel Siegel's work on interpersonal neurobiology shows us that children develop their regulatory capacity in relationship with their caregivers' nervous systems. They don't just learn from what we say, they co regulate or dysregulate with the state we're in, which means the work you do on your own regulation is not just for you. It is literally changing the biology blueprint for the people who come after you. That's legacy that no financial portfolio can touch. So what does it actually look like to build this? I want to give you 3 concrete pillars, not goals, not aspirations, practices. Pillar 1, predictable safety. This is about ending the cycle of high heat and long silence, the blow up followed by the withdrawal, the escalation, and then the avoidance. Predictable safety doesn't mean never getting activated. It means the other person or your own inner witness can trust that you'll come back, that you'll repair, that the relationship is bigger than the rupture. One practice, what I call the repair window. When you've had a moment of dysregulation with someone in your life or within yourself, you have a 24-hour window to name it. Not to fix it perfectly, just to name it. I got flooded yesterday. I came at you from a defended place. I'm here now. That's it. That's the practice. The Gottman Institute's research shows that repair attempts, even imperfect ones, are one of the strongest predictors of relational stability over time. It's not whether you fight, it's whether you come back. Pillar 2, Somatic Inclusion. This one is about making room for the full spectrum of emotional experience in your life. Not just the tidy, presentable emotions, but all of it. Dr. Peter Levine's work in somatic experiencing shows us that when we suppress physiological responses, when we white knuckle through the grief, overwrite the anger, perform the calm we don't feel, those responses don't disappear. They cycle back through the body until they find an exit. Somatic inclusion means giving sensation permission to move. It can be as simple as, I notice my chest is tight right now. What does it need? Not an analysis, not a solution, just an acknowledgement. Your body is not your enemy. It's your most reliable guide to what's true. Pillar 3, the repair cadence. This one is my favorite, and it's probably the most counterintuitive. The goal of a regulated life is not to never get dysregulated. It's to shorten the time between rupture and repair. In early stages of this work, coming back from a big activation might take days. As your system develops more flexibility, what the research calls increased window of tolerance, you start to come back faster. In hours, in minutes, eventually, sometimes in real time. That speed of return is the metric that matters. Not perfection, return speed. Because a nervous system that can rupture and repair, that can go into the edge and find its way back, is not a fragile system. It's a resilient one. And resilient systems build sanctuaries. 12 weeks. Can we just sit with that for a moment? 12 weeks of this work. And if you've been here the whole time, something has shifted in you. I know it has, because the science says it has to. Awareness alone changes the system. Naming activates the prefrontal cortex. The act of bearing witness to your own patterns, even imperfectly, even with resistance, is itself a regulatory act. You have been doing the work. And now, the invitation is to take it forward. Not as a 12-week project that ends today, as a life, a regulated life. If you're in a season of acute spiral, if the nervous system patterns we've been talking about are still very much running the show, and you need support right now, I want you to grab my free Spiral Reset audio at mind-fusion.com/audio. It's a 5-minute guided tool that will help you move your system out of activation and back into presence. It's free. It's yours. And if you want to understand how your nervous system shows up in your closest relationships, I have a free quiz that will tell you exactly that. It's called the Relational Nervous System Quiz, and it will identify your nervous system archetype and give you a personalized roadmap for what regulation looks like for you. You can take it right now at mind-fusion.com/relationship nervous system quiz. The link is in the show notes. The sanctuary doesn't build itself, but it builds faster than you think. And next week, I've got something coming for you that I think is going to crack something open in the best way. So stay with me. Thank you for being here. Thank you for doing this work. I'll see you tomorrow for our raw regulation.